Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel, and this morning I am on with another little update. I'm going to show you. This is Sammy. Sammy looks more like a little girl now. Suppose when she's dressed like a little boy, she looks like a little boy, but when she's dressed like a little girl, she looks like a little girl. And I managed to finish the little hat, and it's just a little beanie. That's all it is. But I think if it was mine, the beanie just comes over the head like that. You know, instead of having like a pom-pom hat, you know, which comes sort of round here and round like that. This just comes round the face like you do on a baby's bonnet. I think I might, if it was mine, I might put a couple of little cords in here so you can fasten under the chin like a proper little baby bonnet. Because I think new babies, little girls or little boys, I think they look much better with girls with a little bonnet and boys with a little helmet. And I know I always had helmets for my boys, except my youngest one. I did have the kind of hats I do now, the pom-pom hat with the turned over brim and that. And I remember when he was little, he just turned his head in the pram and the hat used to come up off his head properly, and I never liked them. I liked those are the kind of hats I think you do for older children, not for new babies. But that's just my idea. The younger ones have their own ideas these days. But anyway, this was a very simple beanie. I just used a beanie pattern. I'll take the hat off and show you what it looks like, and it's not on. So you can see it's just a little beanie, and I think I cast 80 stitches. You can see all around it, it's the same all the way around. You can't notice the seam because of the fluff stuff on it, but I had 80 stitches and it is stretchy. As you can see, I knit a 1 by 1, knit 1, purl 1, rib, and having 80 stitches, an even number of stitches, that made sure that every row started with a knit, so I wouldn't get mixed up with the stitches, because it is very hard to see the stitch on this stuff, so you don't know sometimes whether you're doing a knit or a purl. So I made sure I started off with a knit every row, so that I know it was knit 1, purl 1, nothing else all the way across the row. And I knit till it was 5 inches. I knit up to here, up to about here, and then I just cast the for a few rows. I'm not sure exactly how many rows I did, but I did for to make the crown. I think when I first started, I think I just knit 1 stitch and then knit 2 stitches together, and knit 1 stitch and knit 2 stitches together all across the row. And then the next row was a purl row, and I did purl 1, purl 2 together, purl 1, purl 2 together. And the next row was knit 1, knit 2 together. And I think the last row was just knitting all 2 together all the way across the row. So there's only about 4 rows from the wide part of the hat to the little brim to make the little crown, and that's all there was to it. And with this being this kind of wool, fluffy, it makes a big difference to what it looks like when you put it on the well, it's on the doll here. Because you don't need the brim folded back because of the thickness of the wool. While it is thick, it is lovely and soft, and I think this being the kind of thing it is, it would probably be worn on top of another cardigan, so I think it might have been better if it had buttons all the way down to make it like a proper coat instead of a matinee jacket, because I don't think it's something you would wear underneath. You would wear as a cardigan underneath a little jacket. But that's just to let you see what Sammy looks like with a little hat on. I think it looks really cute. You know, with the doll not having any hair. It looks cute with a little hat on. So I'll have to make a little hat, for a little beanie thing for Sammy him or herself. So that's enough about that. That's it, to sit him there. And I was knitting this yesterday and I made a big mistake. It's a second size, and I had knit the second size, the back, got the back done, and yesterday I was almost finished the front, and I was coming up to the stitches to cast off for the neck here. And what I do when I'm doing to work something out, I've already worked this one out because I've got the pattern, sort of part of the pattern written down. I put it up against the back, like that. That's how I work out where the neck shaping should start, because I look at where, the distance from here to there. And when I put this up to the number of stitches that I thought I should have, it was down here somewhere now. That can't be right, that's far too long, that there. And then I measured, and I had the right stitches here and that, and then I realised something. Instead of doing the second size, I had the first size written down, but I'm writing the second size down as I go. I followed the first size, and I only had 24 stitches on, so there wasn't enough stitches for to do what I needed to do to bring it up to the same length as the back. That was when I realised I had done the wrong size. So instead of having 28 stitches, I only had 24 stitches, so I had to pull it out. I was about up to here where I would have been shaping the neckband, so I did that last night. I did the proper size, proper number of stitches to it. And that really annoyed me, I hate it when things like that happen. So that's how it's going to look now. It's much better. Instead of being right down there somewhere, the neck would have come down like my t-shirt here would have been like that on the front of the cardigan. But these things come to try me, and sometimes they do. So that's that, and I have to start the on my needles here. I have to remember I am doing the next size up, and I'm writing it down. I think I've wrote everything down that I've done on there, but I check to make sure. I don't want to have to work this out later on. Yes, I've got using 325mm needles, cast on 28 stitches, knit 1 by 1 rib for 8 rows, then change to 4mm needles, and then the pattern is just knit 2, purl 2, repeat across the row. And I have to do different stitches for the different sizes, because some I'll start with knit 2 and some I'll start with knit 1 because of the number of stitches, where I want the same to start with the same stitch and finish with the same stitch. So if I start with knit 2, I want to finish with knit 2. But sometimes because of the number of stitches, where this is an even number of stitches, I would start with knit 2 and end with purl 2. So I am starting with knit 1 and ending with knit 1. If people understand what I'm talking about, because I like when I'm doing patterns. When doing these patterns, if I start here with knit 2, I want it to end the same with knit 2, but this one is I've ended with knit 1 and purl 1 on some rows because of the number of stitches. I work this out. If it's an even number of stitches, say for this back is 28. If you half those stitches, it comes to 14. That means if you start with knit, you're going to end with purl. But if it was 30 and you half those stitches, because it's 2 stitches to the pattern, if you half those stitches, that would be 15. That means you're going to start and finish. If you start with knit, you're going to finish with knit. That's how I work out some of the patterns, to get the same stitches, at the start and the finish. A lot of people probably don't understand what I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about. And that is that little bit done. So I'm going to cast on 28 stitches for for the right side now. I've done the left side, I'm going to do the right side now. And I will be going down my granddaughter's later today, so as this is a simple pattern that I'm doing, I will probably take this with me. So I'm casting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, on to 28. And it is a very dull day today. We are supposed to be having rain again today and supposed to be having thunder. Thunder never materialised yesterday. We were supposed to be having it yesterday, but it never materialised, the thunder. Not that I'm bothered, I don't really want to listen to thunder. But it's supposed to be getting it today. And it's going to rain today. And it looks like it might be going to rain this morning actually. It's very dull and miserable looking. Just the kind of weather that you would be sitting in your house knitting. Even if we've had some nice sunny days, I couldn't sit outside and knit because it's been very windy. Yesterday wasn't bad in the morning, but you know, I have one of those greenhouse things in the garden that my son put up for me the last time he was up here, and I wish he hadn't bothered because the wind keeps blowing it over. I couldn't keep anything in it. Plants, it has a like a little table sort of thing fixed onto the very light metal frame thing, and just a plastic cover over it, and it has like a little platform type thing you can put like a mesh sort of stuff where you can put plant pots and things like that on, but they would just be continually blown over all the time, you know. And I've got the top of my patio at the moment, and I could tie it to there's a drain pipe goes down the side where I could fasten it to that to stop it thrown over. I might pull the drain pipe off the wall. So I think I'm just going to undo it and take it all to bits and give it to the scrap man, because it is metal, the pot, next time he comes round, because it's no use whatsoever. It was given to me by someone else, and the reason is probably because of how light it is. He probably had trouble keeping it wherever he kept it in himself, so it's not much good to me really. I don't need it this time of year anyway. I think I might invest in a better one myself. Spend some of my revenue that I get from YouTube. I'm counting my stitches because I think I've got more than 28 stitches on here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. Got 4 too many, take those 4 off. That's my 28 stitches. Now I'm going to do just knit 1, purl 1. And get that one little set finished for that lady when she comes up from Wales. Her name's Carol, the lady that comes up from Wales. So that's my little bit for today. I'll be popping off to the shops now and again. I do have plenty sweets for the kids. I don't have to get sweets, but I go into the local Sainsbury's near me because I need some postage stamps. I have some few of my patterns to post, and I do need 1 or 2 stamps because I think there's a couple of them I haven't got enough stamps for. I do buy my stamps in bulk when I buy them, but they went pretty quick. So I do need 1 or 2 stamps, and then I'll be off to my granddaughter's and pop those patterns into the post box on the way down. So thumbs up and subscribe. I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.